I was just browsing Nexus for some potential mods for my Fallout 3 playthrough and found this DLC-sized mod called Fallout 0. It takes place 2 months after the Great War in your family bunker, where you are faced with the cruel realization that you and your father don't have enough supplies to survive much longer. So, your dad sends you to find the vault where your mother was headed and reunite with her. He also asks you a favor.
Before you go, put me down, please. Quick death. It's better than the slow creep of starvation.
Sorry Dad, but you could actually go explore with me instead of...
Shoot me. Please. I'm going to die anyway.
Ah, screw it, I'm out. When you first step outside, it's snowing. It's the dawn of a new year, and radiation lingers in the air. You can be outside for too long, or you will get irradiated soon. So, we try to look for potential shelter or supplies, and come across a metro tunnel that leads to a settlement of survivors.
Tickets, please.
The war has marked many of them, but not enough to damage your sanity. They keep their minds well by establishing new traditions.
We're already overstaffed, so if you want to get in, bring me some medicine, food or ammunition.
Spare us something or leave. That's their new and working habit. Unfortunately, we came empty-handed and were kicked out of the metro, back into the cruel blizzard. On the same street as my bunker stands is towering a small clinic. Collapsed, no possible entry. But wait, there's a scorched sewer hatch, and I began my descent. It's abandoned and a cold wind is running through the holes in the walls. If it was a bit more isolated, it would make a great shelter. I grabbed some supplies and a few stimpaks that will make a great offering for the people of the metro. Even this small side quest has much depth to carefully depict the situation humankind is in, which makes the mod incredibly immersive even over the missing voice acting in some parts of this mod. There's a man sitting behind the gatekeeper. He wants a radiation suit. At first I thought he wanted us to kill someone for it, but as it turns out there's a new mechanic and it's mugging. You only need this reactive people mask to rob them, and the rest should play out. But if they emit red light, then they will never yield. If they glow green, they will surrender. You can also instruct them by pointing the gun towards the floor to make them crouch. And if the gun is raised up again, we gain access to their inventory. Unfortunately, I found this mechanic to be pointless in the state this mod is in, since most of the equipment NPCs have is unplayable, thus invisible in the menu.
I have food, medicine, and everything else.
This is the man we were supposed to rob? A local hero? He's just trying to help others, but maybe we could come to an agreement.
Oh, just business? Well, in that case, I have a proposal for you. If you give me a hood and rope, I'll give you my radiation suit. Deal?
A hood and a robe. Well, it would make sense he'd be naked without a suit. I guess we can look for it in the meantime. It's evident from the first sight that downtown is filled with misery. Just look at these people. Most of them are sick, starving and weak. This whole metro station reminds me a lot of Metro 2033, where you could see the struggling survivors decorating the tunnels with all kinds of junk they found.
If you get trapped in a building or a tunnel for a few days, dog meat is excellent alternative to starvation.
I'd rather die of starvation than eat a dog. They have a car in here. I wonder if I can fix it. I asked about it and was redirected to Ron, one of the few NPCs that were voiced.
I thought I may try and turn them into train cards. What with the nuclear winter coming and everything, there'll soon be a nexus. It doesn't seem too difficult to attempt them to run on rails.
He's also a local handyman, and that car is his side project he used to work on. But nowadays doesn't have enough time or resources to finish it. The only things that are missing are a few parts for the engine. In the metro station you will soon notice that one section is flooded, and we'll need to drain it to progress further. We can do that by simply helping the survivors and then talking with the shopkeeper that will give us some advice on how to open a hatch, which can release all of the water. There's a terminal in an utility room that controls 2 of these hatches. The shopkeeper mentions it would be wise to close the second hatch unless we want to kill innocents. You don't have to listen to him, but be ready for consequences. But first we need to find a way to gain their trust to enter the utility room.
Here's the food I promised.
I began crafting benches, shacks and many more structures, and also healed an injured local. We are now respected by this faction and can proceed further down the tunnel. That should be all of them. And look, a terminal. We can now drain the water. After the bombs fell, many structures were destroyed, blocking up multiple paths and tunnels, but here comes one of my most favorite mechanics ever made for this mod. Let me introduce you to Shovel, a tool that will guide you through your exploration of the metros. It acts as a classic melee weapon, but you can also use it to dig up the rubble that is blocking your way. There's a small catch to it though. These shovels cannot be stored in your inventory. If you switch weapons, your character just drops it on the ground. There are also other similar mechanics, and it's the new repairing system. Now, I'm not talking about repairing your gear, which I think this mod actually disables, but I'm talking about the actual repairing and crafting of different kinds of items, thanks to your new tool build, and other tools you can find in the mod. After you repair something, you will get some supplies that are very important, because the developer added a new hunger and thirst system. At this point I wonder who this mod author is and why he understands Fallout so much. And after my quick research I realized he worked on the Fallout 1 remake for New Vegas. Besides, this madman created the settlement system before Bethesda, and it seems they got their inspiration from him. Now where was I? Ah yes, we can now go and explore the rest of the metro, and I found the parts for the car. We were taken hostage by a psychopathic group of deranged cops. They gave me an option to work with them and betray the people from the station, but before I even decided, I got my stuff back. That was a big mistake, because after I schemed my plan of total destruction, it was over for them. I wish I could even set the other prisoners free, but it doesn't seem like I can do it. I went back to the station dwellers, and in the meantime they have moved further into the tunnel. But there was a gas leak that caused an explosion, so they can't go back. I decided to help them dig through the rubble and got back to downtown. The explosion must have attracted some ghouls from the above, and now the halls are overrun with them. This is my way out. I need to go north instead of east. So I open the door and...
Sitting with Daddy in the bunker, but don't got much time left. You gotta make it to the vault through the tunnels of the west. Haunted by dogs looking for food and bullets. You wanna get a ticket cause you need to
a ghoul rap starts playing. I must say that's pretty original. But this is unfortunately the end of the first and last chapter of this mod. I haven't explored everything yet, but there are few points of interest here and there you can try to find yourself. Overall, this mod sets the atmosphere masterfully by exploring the gradually worsening situation of the Great War, and it even nails the narrative style of older Fallouts. What else can I say? It's great.
I'm gonna need something to wet my throat before I can go on with the story. My throat's gone sore from all the talking.